we're starting with meditation.
Okay.
Sorry. Whoa! My bad.
That's it.
Yeah. Welcome, Ella, to my class. We will start in a seated position of your choosing, whenever you're comfortable. And I want to start a little conversation, see how we're doing, check in with you, check in with me. If you feel like sharing, you don't have to, but I will go first. Today, I would like to channel peace and happiness and release anxiety and stress. Now, the floor is yours if you want.
I'd like to channel serenity and maybe change
Okay.
and release bad energy.
All right. So we're going to come back to that throughout the practice, so just remember your intention. And now we're going to start to settle in. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and close the eyes if that feels good. And just start to tune in with the breath. Notice how it feels today. See if it's choppy or if it's smooth. If it's hard to get a full breath, just take notice of whatever's happening. And remember that intention you set. And feel where you're rooted. And ground yourself here and arrive. And whenever you're ready, start to try and aim the breath for the belly, softening the belly on your inhale and drawing your navel back to your spine on the exhale. And take notice of what that feels like in the body. Notice any sounds around you, let them pass. Become an observer of your thoughts, whatever comes up for you. And give yourself grace for mind wandering if it happens. I'd now like to share some affirmations with you that you can take or leave, whatever you would like. Today, our focus is the self. So my affirmations today for you are to remember that all of you is welcome, all of you is loved, all of you is safe, and all of you is on purpose. Now, for a couple more minutes, we'll just continue to ground and arrive, taking some deep breaths. Soften your judgment. Continue to observe your thoughts. On your next inhale, I invite you to reach your arms high and come through heart center, honoring the self, thanking yourself for showing up today. Then I invite you to bow down to yourself as well. And remember the intention you set. And then we will start with some gentle movement. Open the eyes if not already open. And take some free movement in the wrists and the arms and the shoulders. Whatever rhythmic movement you'd like to take. Whatever feels natural and organic. Oh my God. non-judgment. Loosening out for class today, which will be kind of a simple, gentle, more basic flow. Whenever you're ready, we'll start to circle the shoulders backwards. Remember to try to sync your movement with breath and become one. And then whenever you're ready, we'll go the other way, rotating the shoulders forwards. Again, on your next inhale, we'll reach the hands up and come through heart center, remembering our intention once more. On the next inhale, your arms will go up one more time, and you'll fall over to one side, stretch your side body, and exhale. Inhale up, go to the other side, and you can take this at your own pace. Creating some dynamic movement. Get a stretch in the side body. Do this a few more times for maybe 3 to 5 more breaths. Make the most of your moment. On your next exhale, whatever side you land on, we'll hold to stretch the side body. For the breaths, we'll hold. On your next inhale, we'll come back up to the center and over to the other side. Breathe into any tension you feel in the body. Remembering to breathe with your movements and mindfully throughout the practice. On your next inhale, we'll come up through center once more. Breathe everything in, and we'll gently turn to the right side. So I'm going to go this way. And just feel the stretch, a gentle spinal twist. Keeping your movement for the twist in the upper back instead of the lower back. And we'll hold for a few breaths here. On your next inhale, we'll reach up once more through the center. And gently twist to the other side. Keeping mindful breaths. sure that you have a heavy head here. Relaxing the body in the stretch. On your next inhale, we'll roll up and place your hands behind you and take a slight arch in the back, looking behind you, stretching the throat chakra as well as the heart chakra. Opening those up, surrendering. Feel what they're telling you. Deep breaths here. On your next exhale, we'll pull through into a tabletop and get situated here. You can take any free or organic movement you feel here. Maybe cat-cow a little bit. We will do it in a moment, but just some free movement of the hips, the heart, the arms, the head, whatever you feel you need to loosen into this stretch today. Whenever you're ready, we will start cat-cow. We'll inhale to look up, dropping the heart to the ground, and exhale to pull it all in, navel to the spine, shoulders pressing away from the ground. Inhale, back. Exhale, and take this at your own pace. Do a couple more, 3 to 5 breaths of this. From your next exhale, on the inhale, we'll drop into a cobra. Slight bend in the elbows, chest high, untuck the toes. And on your exhale from here, we'll go back into child's pose. And we'll dynamically move through these movements. Inhaling to cobra, exhaling to child's. Get some movement in the shoulders, open those up. Creating a safe space for future movement. On your next inhale, we'll hold cobra, keeping the chest open, dropping the shoulders from the ears. Holding for a few breaths here. Take some nice, nourishing breaths. Maybe take a look up at the trees. And on your next exhale, we'll go back into child's and hold here for a few breaths as well. You can spider the hands if you want a deeper stretch in the shoulders. Your knees can be wide or together, whatever you prefer. Taking some deep breaths here mindfully, and any movement you need to free up your body a little more. Maybe twist to either side, stretching out the shoulders. From here, I will have you tuck the toes and push up into downward dog, your first of the day, so be gentle with yourself and pedal out the feet. Take any movement here you need to free up some space. Be here for a few breaths. Just keep moving, orienting yourself. Whenever you're ready, we will step or hop to the front of the mat, top of the mat, and sit in this forward fold. Feel free to ragdoll here if you want some movement. Loosening up the back of the legs and the back. Keeping mindful breaths with your movement or stillness. And then on your next inhale, we'll take a half lift with your heart parallel to the ground. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, the arms up. Clasp the hands with the pointer fingers up towards the sky. We're going to grow out of our midline and take everything over to the right for a crescent, stretching the side body. Make sure that your shoulders are away from the ears, and feel all four corners of your feet on the ground. Make sure you can still breathe deeply here. On your next inhale, come up and realign yourself. Exhale, take your fullest expression for 3, 2, 1, and release. And shake it out. Take empty coat sleeves if you like. And from here, through mountain, we will inhale, arms up. Try to cross your other thumb over. Take everything high and over to the left side, drawing out of the hips, feeling the stretch in the side body, keeping your shoulders away from the ears, freeing space near your heart and chest and throat. Mindfully breathing here. And on your next inhale, we'll come up, realign, readjust, and exhale, take your fullest and deepest expression for 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna come into another fold. Good job. Breathe here mindfully for a few moments, and then we will step back into a high plank. Make sure that your fingers are very wide, your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in line, as well as your feet and hips and shoulders. Some mindful breaths here. From here, we'll enter cobra, dropping the pelvis to the ground on the inhale. And exhale, we'll go back into downward dog for a few breaths. From here, you'll inhale your right leg to the sky, circle out the ankle, open up the hip. You can stack the hips if you'd like to open up that stretch in your standing leg even more. And whenever you're ready, on the exhale, we'll step through into a low lunge. Breathe here for a moment. And on your next exhale, we'll move back, straightening the front leg. We'll inhale, creating some dynamic movement here. Inhale to low lunge. Exhale, straightening the front leg. And take this at your own pace for just a few breaths. On your next inhale, we'll land and hold the low lunge to open up those hips. Feel free to have your hands at heart center or high. You can take cactus. You can put them on your front knee, or you can keep them on the ground, wherever you'd like. And feel free to move them here too. You don't have to stay in one position with your arms. And on your next exhale, we'll take it back, straightening that front leg and holding here for a little bit of a stretch. Try to flex your front foot if you want a deeper stretch, and even turn it out for an even deeper stretch as well. But either way is fine. Continue to breathe deeply here and mindfully. We'll hold this for a few breaths. From here, your next exhale will flow back into the low lunge. Plant the right hand and bring that leg back up into downward dog. Arriving here, great work on the right side. From here, we'll reach the left leg high. Same thing, you can circle out that ankle, stack the hips to open up that side body. And inhale, on your next exhale, step the left foot through for a low lunge. Establish yourself here before taking your dynamic movement to straighten that front leg on the exhale. And inhale back to the low lunge. And continue at your own pace, of course. Next exhale, we'll stop, this time stopping in the straight leg expression. Again, you can flex that foot and turn it out for an even deeper expression, but you don't have to. We'll hold here for about 3 breaths. And on your next exhale, we'll flow right back into a low lunge and hold here. From here, we will press up from the ground, tucking your back toes and scooting them a little bit forward to meet in pyramid. So your front foot will be straight ahead of you and your back foot is on a little bit of an angle. And try to have a heavy head here. You can have your hands on the ground or on your ankle. For a deeper expression, you can clasp the hands behind the back. Breathing deeply here, and on your next inhale, we'll open up into Warrior One, stepping that back foot back just a little bit to have a deeper lunge and keeping it at a 45-degree angle. Stay there. And we'll bring some movement here. The inhale, reaching up, and exhale through heart center, remembering the intention you set at the beginning of practice. Inhale, reach high, look up at the sky. Exhale, ground yourself here and now, and take this at your own pace. And on your next exhale, we will enter Warrior Two, turning the hips out. Breathing deeply here. Reaching forward and backwards. On your next exhale, we'll bring that left forearm down and reach for an extended side angle. Breathing deeply here. Option to take triangle if you'd like to. Straighten that front leg and reach, fly the arms. You don't have to. Up to you. Wherever you can breathe deeply. On your next inhale, we'll come out of that. Reverse our warrior. Reaching back, keeping a deep bend in the front knee. Your gaze can go high. You can put your hand on the back of your leg if you'd like. Just make sure to avoid the knee. On your next inhale, we'll come up through center, turn both toes to the side of the mat, and take a wide leg forward fold, hinging at the hips and keeping a flat back. Begin to hinge forward. You may grab your ankles or touch the ground, and try your best to bring your crown to the ground. Having a heavy head here. And taking some deep breaths. Take some movement if you feel necessary. You can bend one leg and then the other. Just getting some movement. Just make sure that you coordinate these with your breath if you decide to take some movement. On your next inhale, put our hands on the hips and hinge up. Entering back into Warrior Two on the exhale. Take one deep breath here, and then on the next inhale, we'll cartwheel the hands down. And take your flow. That can be chaturanga, or you can do knees, hips, chest, whatever you prefer. Meeting in cobra or up dog on the inhale, and exhaling, tucking the toes, if not already, into the downward dog. From here, on your next inhale, we'll step that right foot through a little bit to form a pyramid pose on the right side. Again, you can keep your hands on the ground or on your front foot, keeping the head heavy, and taking some deep breaths here and feeling the stretch. On your next inhale, entering Warrior One, step that front foot forward a little bit or the back foot backwards just to open up a little bit more. Keep your back foot at 45 degrees and your front foot forwards. We'll be here for a little bit. We're going to take that same dynamic movement, reaching up on the inhale, looking up at the sky, and exhaling through heart center, remembering the intentions we set at the beginning of practice. and channeling all the things we want in life, here and now. On your next exhale, entering warrior two, shifting that back foot slightly, moving the hips to be a little more open, reaching forward and backwards. Taking a few breaths here. On your next inhale and exhale, we'll exhale into an extended side angle, dropping that right elbow down to the right knee and reaching out of your side body, keeping your shoulder away from your ears. Option again to take triangle as your fullest expression, flying the arms. Take some deep breaths here, mindfully. On your next inhale, come up through center, reverse the warrior, sending that weight back and reaching out of the side body on the other side. Gaze going up. On your next inhale and exhale, we'll point our feet to the long side of the mat. We'll take one more wide leg forward fold. This time, option to clasp the hands behind the back and continue to hinge at the hips with a straight back. A little bit of a deeper stretch here on this expression. Maintaining deep breaths. Entering warrior two. Take one breath here, cartwheel the hands down, and take your flow. Meet me in cobra or upward facing dog. For a big inhale, tuck the toes if not already. Take your exhale into downward dog. Notice how this downward dog might feel different from the first one we did today. Great job opening up here. And on your next inhale, we'll walk to the front, entering another forward fold. Breathing here. On your next inhale, take a half lift and exhale, fold deeply. On your next inhale, we'll come all the way up, reaching for the sky, and exhale through heart center into mountain pose. And we're just going to stay here for a little bit. We did a lot of work so far. It's time just to relax and orient ourselves here. Taking deep breaths, remembering our intention. This is the last little push before the end. Make sure that you are at the top of the mat, and whenever you're ready, we will step that left foot back into a high lunge. Keeping those toes tucked. You can take your arms high, or cactus, or heart center, wherever you'd like. But we will push off that back leg and enter into our warrior three. So Whenever you're ready, on your exhale, we'll push through and enter a controlled warrior 3. Hinging at the hips, checking the ego, forgiving yourself if you are having trouble balancing. And take your fingertips to the mat for stability. Try to keep that back leg flexed and just fly here for a moment. Whenever you're ready, step right back into that high lunge. And step right back into mountain pose and reorient yourself for the other side. You can take your hands to heart center. Take a few breaths for stepping that right foot back into our high lunge on the left. Do whatever you like with your arms. Take a deep breath, take a moment, and whenever you're ready, we will press into our warrior 3 on the left. Floating here. Finding a point of focus, your drishti, somewhere still. Holding here, almost done. One more deep breath, and right back into high lunge. Thank yourself and your body for what you have done, and step back or forwards, back into mountain. Take some deep breaths here, express gratitude, feel the abundance. On your next deep inhale, reaching high, looking up, and then folding at the hips, flat back, and down into a forward fold. From here, we'll take one more half lift, deep breath. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into a high plank. Hold here. And shift front and backward on the toes if you'd like to. And now we'll take our flow into child's pose. So we'll up into cobra on the inhale and back into child's on the exhale. Bowing down to yourself for showing up today and doing great work. We'll arrive here in child's pose for about 5 to 7 breaths. Once again, practicing being a witness. An observer. Non-judgmental, detached being. Take 3 more deep, nourishing breaths. Inhales and exhales. Fulfilling something you need today. From child's, we'll press up into a tabletop position. And on your inhale, we'll reach that right arm high. Breathe here for a couple of breaths. And on your next exhale, we'll come down, threading the needle, putting that right arm through and touching that shoulder to the ground and your head. Getting a gentle but nourishing twist in that upper back. Breathing here. be here for maybe 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, we'll reach that arm back up high. And exhale, back into tabletop. And we'll go back into child's pose one more time for about 2 to 3 breaths. On your next inhale, we'll come through tabletop. We will exhale here, and then on the inhale, reach that left arm high. And exhale, thread the needle, come through, and settle here for a few breaths. Take about 3 more breaths here. On your next inhale, undoing your bind, reaching high, coming back down into tabletop on the exhale, and take child's one more time, leaning back, stretching the shoulders, breathing deeply. On your next inhale, come back up, rise as slowly as you need, and we'll pull that right knee forward, having your right foot meet your left hand, settling down into a pigeon pose. Feel free to flex that front foot to protect the knee. You can stay upright. You can come down to your elbows or forearms, your hands, or your forehead, whatever you would prefer. Settle deeply here. Try your best to not resist gravity. Surrender and breathe. We'll be here for maybe 3 more breaths. On your next inhale, push up if you aren't already. We'll put that right leg back into a tabletop and do the same thing on the left side. Bringing that left foot to the right hand, left knee to the left hand, settling into pigeon on the left. Flexing the front foot to protect the knee. Breathing deeply, staying mindful. One more deep breath. And we'll roll up, meeting back in tabletop. And we can meet on the back. I know it's a little scary outside with all the bugs, but hug the knees in. Give yourself a great big hug. Feel gratitude. And go ahead, release your right leg and extend it, keeping your left knee into the chest. Feel free to take that left knee out. Take just a few breaths here. On your next inhale, bring that right leg back in, hug both knees, and exhale that left leg to the ground. Again, bring that knee out, the right knee out. If you'd like a different stretch in the hips. And on your next inhale, we'll give ourselves one more big hug, reaching for the outer edges of the feet and coming into a happy baby if that feels good. And feel free to straighten one leg at a time, creating some dynamic movement here with a little bit of a deeper and different stretch in the legs and inner thighs, moving with breath if you decide, or just breathing mindfully in happy baby, feeling it in your hips. Take circles in the same direction or opposite. Just taking free movement, opening up the hips, circling the knees. And eventually we'll come into circling the knees around the same way to massage the lower back. Breathing deeply here, taking it both ways. From here, we will enter Shavasana, so feel free to hug those knees in one more time, and just remember to always be grateful for yourself. Big inhale and exhale, surrendering fully with your body, taking wide legs, palms up, returning to your normal breath. You may also touch the feet together and bend the knees. If you would like to rest here for your final resting pose, closing the eyes, arrive on your back in Shavasana with your eyes closed. I have to watch you. Taking deep breaths. And then whenever you're ready, like I said, return to your natural breath whenever you'd like. Reflect on our practice today, remembering your intention you set at the beginning, remembering how we implemented it into practice, thinking about how you can continue to do this in your day-to-day life. Reflect on how it feels to be still and an observer. I'm going to take you through a quick body scan, starting at the crown of the head. Notice how it feels. Is there any vibration? Do you feel activity? Do you feel nothing? Just sit with that for a little bit. And run your awareness down over your face, relaxing all the muscles in the face and reflecting on how they feel today. Maybe bring a gentle smile to the face, honoring yourself and the work you've put in today and every day. Running your awareness down the neck and chest and shoulders, relaxing those, thanking them for what they've done today for you, acknowledging how they feel and nothing more. Notice your arms and your fingers, your arms held up to your body today in a lot of ways, so thank them for that. And your fingers kept you stable. Your fingers kept you strong. Notice how they feel and give them gratitude and grace. Notice from the chest downward into trunk, how that feels, the core of your physical body. One of the most important parts of you as a whole. Where your heart lies, in your stomach, where your breath goes. Think your trunk and notice how it feels. And the hips for hinging so many times. For their deep expressions today, thank the hips, notice how they feel. Maybe they feel loose. And thighs, the inner thighs, the outer thighs. Notice how they feel after today, after your work. Breathe into the thighs and the knees, which help the legs bend, move, run, play, walk. Give thanks to the knees for their hard work today and every day. Breathe into the knees. Run your awareness down the shins, the calves, and the back of the legs, for they've done a lot of hard work too, today and every day, and they deserve thanks for that. Breathe into the backs of the legs, the ankles, for their resilience and mobility that take you everywhere you want to go every day. And the feet, which feel the earth below you constantly. Keep you grounded breathe deeply into the whole body, giving it thanks. Exhale. For the next couple minutes, try your best to bask fully in stillness as we close this practice with stillness and reflection and observance. Whenever you're ready, you can bring some gentle movement back into the body. Start with the toes and the fingers, the face. Work through the wrists and ankles, the neck, shoulders. Remember where you are. Become present once more. You can roll onto your favorite side whenever you're ready, into a fetal position. Press up to a seat whenever you're ready as well, and open the eyes if they are not already. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thanks for coming. All right, 59 minutes.
Nice.
Pretty good, guys. All right, love you, Laura. Thank you for watching.